Hi, this is week 3 reflection on chapter 3 and 4 and the article. The article talks about educators who work with English learner language need to understand the history and the current language of education, policies, and legislation that affect their student and classroom. So the article talks about the brief history of the bilingual education policy regarding language in the United States. They also review the federal and state policies regarding ESLs and look at the importance of the course have played in guiding the policy for their students. So this article goes with chapter 3 when they talk about the policies of the child left behind, the Obama administrator. So for a brief history, they talk about that in some towns in New Jersey, Missouri, Texas, Minnesota, and Indiana, then nearly all elementary school students receive German instruction. Swedish, Norwegian, and Danish were taught in many high school and elementary schools in Iowa, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, and Washington. That Spanish was a compulsory subject in New Mexico public high school. That the French, Russian, and Hungarian and Italian government provide support to public and private schools for teaching of French in New Orleans, Russian in Alaska, and that in the mid-19th, Spanish was taught in elementary school in several cities, including Corpus Christi, San Antonio, in El Paso, Texas, Los Angeles, and Santiago, California, and Gainesville, and Miami, Florida. So when Obama became president, on page 67 on the article, one of his main points was, I'm trying to look for page 67, that adopting international benchmark standards that prepare students for success in college and workplace and high quality assessment that are valid and reliable for all students, including English and language learner and the student with a disability. Recruiting, developing, rewriting, and retaining effective teachers and principals. Increase transparency by building data systems that measure student success, that inform teacher and principal how they can improve their practice. Supporting effectivism strategy to turn around the lowest performing schools. So these policies are very important to help our EOLs and how they are getting the education. So, and then on page 76, they talk about many lawsuits, like the one in the Chinese in San Francisco, that we'll talk about that one in chapter 3. And then we have the language policy at the local level. Children have the right to be educated in their home language. If the first principle cannot be met, children have the right to attend school that respect and value their home language. Children have the right to learn the standard language parity, standard English in the United States, to the highest levels of proficiency. So on chapter 3, there are many different policies, like the one of the called the antecedent, Title VII, the Bilingual Education Act, the legal precedents, the 1990s, the No Child Left Behind, the Common Core State Standards, Every Student Success Act. So the one of the precedents, what was that caught my eye, was the one of, no, it's not it's the legal precedent. In the early 1970s, a group of Chinese American parents brought a judicial case against the San Francisco School Board on the ground that their children were not receiving an equitable education. So now, let's talk about the different programs that they have. So for example, to learn English has there are different programs. The first one that we have is to learn English like a children that have their first language as English.